Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
Hey everyone, welcome! It's Thirsty Thursday. Aren't you glad it is? I am. Thirsty Thursday means that Q&A is tomorrow, by the way. Do you know that? All you have to do is send in your questions to support@savingdinner.com. We will answer them live and on the air tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So make sure you go get them in. It's real easy to do. Send your email in. Question for Leanne on Friday goes right there in the subject line. Super easy. Hello, Carla and Lily and Laura. Good to see you. I think I see Jackie and Catherine too. Yay! Nice to have you all here. So that's exciting. The other thing that's exciting is what's happening tonight. You know, weirdly, somehow or another, we seem to think that the holidays start the minute we bring in those snack-sized Kit Kat bars. Anyone? Do not give me a pinkies up over that one. Hi, Jeanette. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Doris. Hello, everyone. Suzanne's here as well. And Lynn and Butterfly. Good to see you. Right? Do we need to bring those in the house? I say we don't bring those in the house. Let's get rid of that kind of garbage. And this is not the bringing in the trick-or-treat candy does not mean the holidays have started. Let's get rid of this idea and this notion, and make sure you bring in candy that you don't like if you have trick-or-treaters coming to your house. Hi, Jocelyn. For me, that was always the candy corns. I always got the candy corns in there because, I mean, candy corns to me are vile. So, you know, Kit Kat bars, temptation. Candy corn, absolutely not. Those could rot till kingdom come in sitting there in my pantry. I would give them away, of course. I'm so glad you're here, Marguerite. So anyway, that's what you need to know is that tonight at 7 p.m., we are doing a webinar on how to not just survive the holidays, but thrive through the holidays. Get through them without all the stuff that adds up to regret later, including huge credit card bills, including weight gain, including the years gone by and what happened to my goals, that kind of stuff. We still have 71 days left in this year. 71 days. What can you get done in this time? I'm going to tell you, it's going to blow your mind. And I want you there tonight. savingdinner.com/holiday to get yourself signed up. We got a ton of people coming. So listen, go grab your seat. Go grab your seat. And if you can't make it, don't worry about it. We will still send you the recording, but I'd love you to be there. It's going to be fun. We always have so much fun at these webinars, don't we? Mm-hmm. Books are available. The Getting Off the Carousel of Crazy book. Good. I'm getting some pretty good reviews on that. I want you there for that as well. Check that out at savingdinner.com/crazy. With it, you'll also get a workbook because this is not your average book. This is a book that's going to say, let's go through these things together so that you can be in control of what it is that's happening in your life. You know, we all have carousel of crazies, and sometimes those carousel of crazies, I don't know, it looks like that whole weight loss culture that we've all been raised in. I don't know about you, but I sure as heck was. So check it out. I want you to take a look at it, and I want you to, if any of it resonates with you, I'd love to hear from you. That's because it's always exciting when I hear from you. The wait list for Inner Circle is available right now. You can go put your name on it. That just means we'll email you and say, hey, registration's open. First come, first serve on this, because this is how it's going to happen. Those who are in Inner Circle are going to have first dibs. Second dibs are going to be people on the wait list, and then we'll open it up for everyone else. Only 50 seats is what we take into this group. And I'll tell you, what a group of women. It's so amazing. Hi, Jennifer. I'll tell you, you're missing out if you're not a part of this. And it's really a phenomenal thing. I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of of hot seats coming this Saturday when we meet. I got this wonderful little note card from our friend Melissa Jaggers. And Jaggers, I hope I'm saying her last name right, but I'll tell you what, what a sweet thing. I mean, she bought a session with me, but then still sent me a thank you. And, it just lights me up. And I think to myself, how often do we really pull out a thank you card and write something out to someone? What a sweet thing to do. And especially in this 21st century. So Melissa, if you're watching, thank you. That just meant so much to me. It was a sweet thing for you to do. Let's see, what else do I have to tell you about? You can find us on TikTok. You can find us on Instagram, tiktok.com/saving dinner, Instagram.com/guess saving dinner. Of course, that's how we do it. All this week, all this month, through October, we're giving away a whole bundle of crock cooker ebooks. You are going to get them if you purchase something. It's that simple. And we'll send it to you in your receipt and you'll get that. I also have, what else do I have to share with you today? Oh, how could I forget? I didn't forget. I was building up. You have to see this. So as many of you know, or as many of you don't know, Mark and I are getting married. I thought I'd let you know that. Surprise! I hope we're getting married. Look what Jenny sent me. Look at this. This is one of my all-time favorite pictures of Mark and I. But I looked at it and I said, oh my goodness, that's so cool. I'm sorry, it's reflecting off a little bit. I don't know how to unreflect it. There it is. There, do you see it? Better? Like that? Anyway, isn't that beautiful? I looked at that and I said, how did you do that? It's pixelated. And then I got up close. I got personal. This woman cross-stitched this for me. Jenny made this for me. And I have to say, I was teary all day yesterday, just looking at it and in absolute wonderment. And I wish I had the picture to show you side by side, but this is a picture of Mark and I went to a black tie thing. And take a look. Take a look. You know what, Jenny, post a pic in the sprint group and also this picture, if you would, so they can have a reference. I just think this, well, first of all, this is one of my favorite pictures of Mark and I. This is when he and I, that's when we just committed to one another and just said, you know what, that's it. You're my life partner. And how about that? I'll tell you what, there were tears and Mark just kept saying, I can't believe she did that. I can't believe she did that. So it feels really special to be loved like that, because that is not only is it incredibly beautiful, but it just highlights talent and diligence right there. Talent and diligence. Isn't that so sweet? Anyway, so touched with that. And I haven't yet hung it. I'm going to, I wasn't allowed to hang it. Mark said, don't you hang it. You show everybody. I was like, okay. So we're going to hang that. We're going to find a good place to hang that because we're changing up somewhat the way our house is going to look when we mow down a wall and all of that. So you'll see. Anyway, here's our quote of the week after that big thing. Isn't it so beautiful? I know, Susan. Susan, I know. I love it so much. Hi, Joanne and Susan, by the way. An ounce of action is worth a ton of theory. Okay, so I think just what Jenny did is she's been working on that a while. That was not something she did in a week or even a month. She worked on that diligently until it was completed. And we learn lessons from that too. Our consistency and our diligence teach us lessons along the way. And one is to complete a beautiful project like this and to delight and love someone up, because boy, oh boy, did she, with this amazing gift. And then the other thing is that we see within ourselves the strength that is actually there that we thought we didn't have, that we thought was dormant. Just not true. Just not true. So anyway, we are, I also, and I'm going to tell you this probably on repeat all throughout today, because I think this is so important. I want you to see the rest of this year with the same eyes that I do, because this is how we're going to get to the end of this year with our hands pumped in the air saying, I did it. I did a good job. I get how overwhelming and aren't we all just a little bit done with the pandemic? Aren't we all just wanting to get life back to whatever it was before all of this stuff happened? I get that. And it's caused us to shift. It's caused us to change. But I'm going to also tell you this, that for a lot of us, it's brought a lot of people into depression. It's brought a lot of people into questioning everything. And so today we've been talking about all day, all week long, we've been talking about worth and measurement. And, what is your time worth? Because time is a special, amazing commodity with which we cannot measure, at least, in great quantities, because we don't know if we have tomorrow or not. What we do know is that we have the preciousness of today, so far anyway, thus far, and how important it is that we keep our the preciousness and the cherishingness of time in our hands, so that when we are using our time and spending our time, because it's both currency and a commodity, right? That we're doing so wisely. I think that's one of the most important things that I've really recognized and realized. I've had some, I told you about yesterday, a woman who really helped me with my son had passed, suddenly, and a couple of other people too, from high school and all of that. You see these little, reminders coming up that our days are numbered. But I also think that we get stuck in this place of measuring our worth, which is the only thing on this planet that is immeasurable. I want to go through this because I think it's important. And it's important because I want you to see maybe, some of these things that I'm going to bring up are stuff and you go, ooh, yikes, I see myself in that. But I want you to get your worth from where you get your worth. There's one way to get your worth. And there's one way in which we know that we are enough. And that is to remember that we are a reflection. We are the apple of God's eye. And that there is nothing that we can do that's going to turn him away from us. And I think when we understand that and we can just meditate on that, that's when we start to put the pieces together a little bit better. But, if you think about it, measurements need to be precise about just about everything. Think about it. You cannot build a house without precision. Sometimes I watch HGTV. That's my guilty pleasure, HGTV shows, and they have on one of them, I think it's Hometown or whatever. The guy who's in it has a big sign in his shop and it says, measure twice, cut once. Measure twice, cut once. And don't you think that is appropriate for what we should do in our lives with the things that we measure? Measure twice and then cut once. In other words, be careful and then go for it. Be careful, get your theory together, and then put some action behind it. Just exactly what this is, right? We need to have action to go with a ton of theory. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of pie in the sky. So measurements need to be precise on everything. Landing a plane, that's got to be precise. You don't want them landing a plane on the Hudson, right? You don't want them landing a plane off of just say, hey, it's going to be rough, folks. I'm a little off. I thought I was there, just a little off, but we're going to have to land in this field over here. How about that? Or how much sleep you get. You can measure, your body will tell you, even if you didn't look at the clock, you haven't had enough sleep. You can feel it. That's a measurement, enough sleep. The hydration that you get, there's a measurement. You can see it when you pee in the toilet. You understand what I'm talking about. Hello, Gloria. But oftentimes we measure ourselves. We measure our worth in terms that aren't accurate and can lead to very unhealthy thoughts and can depress us. And in an effort to kind of avoid that and to numb ourselves away from that, we have some behaviors that might crop up that, especially if you're kind of going through it right now and saying, I feel a little bit like this, maybe one of these things is your measuring stick. And the first one that I have to say is the scale. Now, hear me on this. The scale is helpful for a beginning place and saying, okay, I'm starting here. But I have seen way too often that the scale is the barometer of what your life is going to be about. That the scale is going to determine whether you have a good day or a bad day. That the scale is going to tell you whether you were good or bad. Come on. That the scale has the ability and the power in your life over you and your mood. And for that, I just say, dump it. If that's what the scale is going to do for you, then you don't need the scale. What you need is something else to measure how you're doing if you're working on weight loss. But you can't allow the scale to have that kind of measurement, especially when there's such inaccuracy there. Remember, I always think a better measurement tool is your tape measure, because that's not going to fluctuate with your cycle. It's not going to fluctuate with eating a little Chinese food or whatever. It's going to tell you the truth of what's truly going on if you're doing all the things, right? So let's just stop measuring ourselves by the scale and what our worth is, because the scale tells us nothing about who we are and whose we are. Amen. Number 2, your bank account or your pretend bank account. You know what I mean? Well, there's 2 kinds of people, and I've met them, unfortunately. I've been with men that are like this, who are either flashy, 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 and they don't have 2 nickels to rub together, but boy, do they have a nice looking car, and they've got all the clothes, and they're putting on the dog and pony show. Or the other kind, who are, they can squeeze a nickel till it squeaks. They have so much money in the bank, they won't spend money on just going out to dinner, or they'll insist on splitting an entree. I was with a guy like that. Come on, don't be such a cheapskate. And I knew it was in his bank account. That kind of stuff, that's building your worth on your worth, on your dollars and cents. And what does that do for you? Your value cannot be calculated like that, And that's some way that some people feel good enough if they have enough flashy stuff, or if they have enough cash in the bank. We get our security from that. We get our security from all the flashy clothes. But I'll tell you, money can't buy you happiness, and money can't buy you either the security in yourself. The things will never do it. You'll always need a new car. You'll always need new clothes. You'll always need more money in your account. Think about it. Money's a tool, period. Full stop. It is a tool. It helps you to get groceries and what have you, but it is not the be all end all. It is simply a tool, and it does not transmit into your worth. Number 3 is achievement. I know this one guy who's in my health and wellness thing. He was just all about everyone's degrees, where they went to school, and Harvard grad, and all of that. And the thing is that all of the accolades, all of the rewards, all of the things don't mean a thing, and don't put an exclamation point behind your name that says, here I am. I had a goal to be a New York Times bestselling author. And when it happened, well, I had to pull over the car and just sob, because I was just exhilarated from reaching such a goal. I thought it would change my life. It didn't. It didn't change my life. It just added another thing. Now I can throw that around, and I do, believe me, I'll use that. I'll put that in my bio. It's one of the first things you're going to read. It's an accomplishment, but it's not who I am. That is not going on my gravestone. That is not going to be something that, is read in my eulogy. I hope not, because your worth is so much more than the accolades and the degrees and everything else that you have. It's your bragging rights maybe for life, but it's not a cup filler. It doesn't fill your little cup and make you feel loved and cared about, and you know, your self-worth hot goes flying through the sky, maybe for a minute. Maybe for a minute, you feel pretty good on top of the world. It's like that with getting through to any goal and meeting a goal. But then there's always something else, isn't there? So if your worth is is based on something that's fleeting, you're going to be constantly your whole life chasing after that. Number 4 is who you know. This is a big one, and I've seen this so much in the health and wellness community. Let me just tell you about that. And there's lots of name dropping on, oh, I'm hanging out with so and so. I'm in this mastermind group, and this so and so is my mentor. Hanging out with so and so, taking selfies with them, and oh, here I am with so and so. Big heavy sigh right there, because what's the point of that? And I believe that's when we give our power away, and we say that because see how good I am because I'm with this person, I'm with this president, I'm with this best-selling author, I'm with this person. I don't know what the thing is with that, and maybe sometimes we do that with all the selfies and everything like that. But what's that about, really? At the end of the day, you are who you are. You came into this earth alone. You're going to leave alone. Sorry, but that's the truth. And how do we do this? How do we justify this kind of a thing? How do we justify this? It doesn't make us feel better, maybe for a moment, but it just makes us by association think that we're better than we are, because again, then it goes back to the whole thing as it's based on achievement, and you'll ride on somebody else's achievement. I don't know, but is that your worth? Does that transmit your worth? Number 5 is holier, healthier, and smarter than thou. Ever seen that? And God forbid I should ever do that. If I do, smack me down, would you? But you get the holier than thou whole thing. I get it. I understand it. I've got this corner of, the marketplace here for religiosity and understanding this is how it works. The whole secret to the universe right there. Just ask so-and-so on Facebook. Healthier than thou, if you're not a vegan, if you're not paleo, if you're not hot milk sprinting even, who are we to spread this gospel of superiority, smarter than everybody else? But it happens, we have theologians, epidemiologists, we have overall smarty pants Facebook scholars and social media scholars, always, and they've got some little meme to spread and something that shows they get it, you don't. What is that about anyway? It's this weird one-upsmanship that we have that's become mean and divisive. And not only that, this is what the studies have shown, which absolutely was jaw-dropping to me. It's creating a whole new brand of narcissism, because feeling better about yourself and by putting others down and saying, see, I've got this little corner of the world, creates narcissism. 25% increase in narcissism in the last 10 years because of social media. And you see it. It's snarky, it's mean, and it's these keyboard warriors. It's so garbagey. It's so garbagey. And we do that for what reason? To boost our self-esteem. So I think these are all really poor, crappy ways to measure our worth, because we are immeasurable. But how do we get to that place of understanding that concept, that this is one thing in our lives that we just simply cannot measure? Well, I've got 7 things for you. You ready? This is the good stuff. Number 1 is to remember who you are and whose you are. You were put here on purpose and for purpose by God himself. And he doesn't mess around. He doesn't make junk. He doesn't just say, oops, random person here. I didn't mean to do that. There's a precise reason that you're here. And believe me, those reasons can change with the season, and your purpose can as well. Having that flexibility in mind and understanding that you're here to do good work. These hands are here to do good work. Jenny did some good work with that beautiful picture that she did. I mean, it just warmed me beyond anything. I mean, it's just one of the most beautiful things anyone has ever given me. You know, she did that to bless me and to love me. And, she's got a talent and she used it. How can we do that? How can we know who we are and whose we are and have that be expressed in our lives instead of all this other garbage I just went through? Number 2, express your needs. Vocalize it. Vocalize it and do it kindly and do it definitively. Don't keep people guessing like she's hinting or dropping these hints, or I'm not quite sure what she's having to say. When you do that, not only are you being a little bit deceptive, but you're also not speaking up for yourself. You have no voice, you have no life, and you have no power. It's that simple. And when that is the case, then you don't understand your worth. Speaking up for yourself and having a voice in your life is the thing that's going to create the vibrancy in the life that you want to live. Pretty cool, right? How this whole thing goes together. You hear my big doggy? Number 3, back to Jenny. Do the thing that you enjoy. Do what you enjoy. Not everything needs to be hard and a chore and I'm creating new habits. It's not always about striving. It's also about being and enjoying and doing something wholeheartedly because you enjoy it and you love it. Yeah? You enjoy it and you love it. And I think that when we do that, we see our worth too. We see that these hands, these busy hands that are making this beautiful art, can bless someone else. These hands that are crocheting a pair of booties for a baby, that's something, that is a blessing right there. Think about all of that. Think about all of that. Number 4 is love your people and express your appreciation. You know why this is important? Because when you do this, it comes back to you. But when you do it, you feel good about doing it. Quite often we forget. We forget to say thank you as often as we should. I am guilty of that. We forget to express the appreciation that we have for our people as much as we should. Because when we do this, it can't help but come back to you. It is the law of sowing and reaping. And why can't we get into that for a little bit? Maybe your reasoning might be a little tweaked. I'm going to do this so I can get something back. But after a while, just that giving and being able to bless someone and love someone up makes a big difference. Makes a big difference, and it changes everyone. Everyone. Number 5. I want you to remember this one. Self-care for healthcare. Part of this whole thing of having a good self-esteem and a good self-worth is by taking care of the container you've been given. You know what? I don't care if you've got stretch marks. I don't care if you have an extra fill in the blank amount of pounds that you need to lose. I don't care about any of that. Come take a look at my legs. They're a map. They look like a map with little varicose veins and all kinds of garbage going on. That is my badge of honor from having 2 great big huge children and less than 2 years apart. I used to get so self-conscious about it. I tried to have them removed. I did all kinds of things. And now I just look at them and I love those legs up. They're strong, they're healthy. They get me up and down these stairs that are just crazy from our lake all the way up to the house. Happy about that. I am happy about that. And that's the thing that I can look at. Self-care for your health care. This is for your mind. This is for your body. This is for your heart. And this is for your soul. You are a whole person. the whole of you needs to be loved up. Then the whole of you can change the parts of you that you want to once you've loved all of you. You get me? This self-care thing, it is not just fancy manicures and pedicures and massages and all of that. It's also getting to bed at a decent hour and feeding yourself food that's going to feed and nourish your body. It's about having a loving phone call, writing somebody a lovely little thank you note. That's self-care. It's loving healthcare. That's what it is. Number 6 is to play, dance, and sing. Now, not all of us sound like, an opera diva. Not all of us have great voices, but who cares? Does it matter? No. What matters is that you sing. What matters is that you dance. And even if it's terrible, what matters is that you play like a kid on the floor with your dog, with your grandchildren, with your children. It matters because as we do that, we're getting a massive dopamine hit, and we're also participating in the presence of our lives. Because so often we live in the past with all the regrets and the beating up and all of that, or else we're out there in the future worrying, hand-wringing. When you play, when you dance, and when you sing, you are present, sister. And aren't you glad? And number 7, I will tell you this is the truth. Gratitude will never, ever let you down. Gratitude will never betray you. Gratitude will never say, you don't have anything to be thankful for. Gratitude every single time will give you a dopamine hit. Gratitude every single time will adjust your focus on what is important in this world. Gratitude will get you to the place where you're measuring properly. You're blessed abundantly to overflowing. Everything might not be perfect in your life. You may have tragic backgrounds and pasts. You might have all kinds of things that are going on. You might have self-esteem stuff that you've struggled with forever and ever. Amen. But I will tell you this, your worth is immeasurable. Absolutely 100% immeasurable. You can measure all kinds of things, but one thing I want you to promise me, pinkies up, you'll never measure your worth. You're more precious than gold. I know this to be true. That's all I have for you today. I hope to see you tonight. Are you going to be there? We're going to be talking about getting goals accomplished. Yes, accomplished before the end of the year and not going off the rails during this whole holiday thing. I've got a plan. I've got all kinds of stuff for you. You are not going to leave empty-handed. I know this is going to be helpful for you. Lily, pinkies up to you too. I love you all. Peace be with you.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.